Free agency is basically over. Almost all the big names have been taken off the market thus far. We're waiting on Yasiel Puig still. But because all the good names are off, it's time for me to tell you the best free agent signing from every single team in Major League Baseball. Now, not every single team does have a free agent signing. The Rockies, as of right now when I'm recording this video, they haven't signed anybody, or at least anybody to a Major League contract. So they're gonna be left off today's video. But the 29 other teams have made a signing. Some have made good, some haven't really done anything. Regardless, I'm still gonna tell you who's the best. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it. That's the best way to show your support. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts and opinions on what the best free agent signing was this offseason. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description, always talking baseball over there. And if you want any tickets to any sporting events, make sure to head on over to SeatGeek. Use the code GIRAFFE. Save yourself $20 off your first purchase. For the first team in today's video, we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays and their signing of Japanese slugger Yoshitomi Tsutsugo, or Yoshi, I think is what he wants to be called. Tsutsugo the last 4 years has been dominating in Japan. OPS above 900, hit 44 homers back in 2016, pretty much averaging about 30 plus homers a year. He walks, doesn't strike out a lot, puts the ball in play, and has a really nice swing. I think this guy has the potential to be a really solid player for the Tampa Bay Rays, and definitely the best player they've signed thus far. For the Houston Astros, it's been a quiet offseason. Well, in terms of signing players, because of course we know they were cheating, but really out of the players that they signed, their best pick thus far has been Joe Smith, who re-signed with them after a strong 2019 season. In 2019, he appeared in 28 games with a 1.8 ERA and a whip under 1. Didn't play a full season due to injuries, but in the time that he did pitch, he was pretty effective. And I think as like a submarine sidearm kind of guy, he's one of the best out there in Major League Baseball right now. Definitely going to help that Astros bullpen again in 2020. For the best player the Mariners have signed this offseason, I'm going to go with Yoshihisa Hirano, Japanese relief pitcher who spent the last 2 seasons with the Diamondbacks. Now, 2019 wasn't his best season, but he did improve on his strikeouts, but unfortunately gave up more walks, hits, and home runs. Still though, in his 2-year career in Major League Baseball, he has a 3.47 ERA with a whip right around 1.215, strikes out over a batter per inning, does have a little bit of a walk issue, but he has some really nice stuff, and for a Mariners team that lacks a lot of depth in the bullpen, Hirano is going to be a very solid arm for them in 2020. The Detroit Tigers actually made some moves, but the best one that they made, in my opinion, this offseason was signing Jonathan Schoop. They signed Schoop to a 1-year, $6.1 million deal, and this is for a player who has shown in the past he can be a very solid second baseman, especially with the bat, and even last year in what was considered a down year, he was still pretty effective. I think best case scenario with Jonathan Schoop is that he has a really strong first half with the Tigers, and they're able to flip him to a contender, get some prospects back, and continue to strengthen their farm for the rebuild. Tigers aren't going anywhere, but Schoop could be a very solid player. Your 2019 World Series champion Washington Nationals had a lot of players hit the free agent market this year, but they were able to bring one of their big pieces back in Steven Strasburg, who's going to be their best free agent signing. Coming off a career season where he finished 5th in the Cy Young voting, 15th in the MVP, pitched a National League best 209 innings to an 18-6 record with a 3.32 ERA and a whip at 1.038. He won the World Series MVP, was healthy throughout the entire season, making 33 starts. He was huge for them down the stretch. The Nationals paid him for it, and he's going to end up being a National for life. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, the payroll's pretty low, so they didn't make a lot of signings, but they did add Derek Holland, who out of the players that they've signed is their best choice. Now, the last couple seasons have been a little shaky for Holland. Strong 2018 with San Francisco, but 2019 he split time between the Giants and the Cubs, and he had a combined ERA of 6.08 with a whip at 1.506. Similar to the Tigers situation, you're hoping that Holland has a strong first half, that you can end up trading him, getting some prospects back, because otherwise the Pirates aren't really making any noise this year. The Chicago White Sox have improved massively, and a big part of that improvement was signing Yasmani Grandal this offseason to a 4-year, $73 million deal. Grandal is without a doubt one of the top 2 catchers in Major League Baseball, can swing the bat at a very high level for any position, let alone catcher, gets on base, doesn't strike out a lot, plays great defense behind the plate. He's going to be a stalwart for the White Sox for the next few seasons behind the dish, and a big part of their push to start becoming a playoff contender. Keeping it in the AL Central, we got the Minnesota Twins, who made a huge move signing Josh Donaldson this offseason to a 4-year deal worth $92 million. After an injury-riddled 2018, Donaldson came back in 2019, bet on himself, took a 1-year deal with the Braves, and boy did it pay off. He hit 37 homers, 33 doubles, given 94 RBIs, finished with an OPS at 900 last year, played great defense at third, finished 11th in the MVP voting. Josh Donaldson went back to MVP type form. The bringer of rain is back. For the Los Angeles Dodgers, they don't have a lot of holes in their team, but one place that they could improve was the bullpen, and they definitely did that this offseason by picking up Blake Trinan from the Oakland A's in a 1-year, $10 million contract. In 2018, there was nobody better out of the bullpen than Blake Trinan. 0.78 ERA, gave up only 2 homers and 7 earned runs on the year, struck out 100 batters, whip under 1, but then 2019 was a different story, struggled quite a bit, lost the closer role in Oakland, and the A's ended up getting rid of him. But the Dodgers swooped in, and I think it's going to pay off massively for them, because if he can return to his old form when he was healthy, wow, that Dodgers team's going to get even better. The Miami Marlins actually made some good signings this offseason. The best one, in my opinion, is going to be Jonathan VR. VR was non-tendered by the Orioles this offseason, and the Miami Marlins swooped in and picked him up. And that was coming off probably one of the best seasons of his career. He hit 24 homers with 33 doubles and 5 triples last year to give him 73 RBIs, stealing 40 bases, a 274 batting average with a 339 on base, 453 slug, gave him an OPS at 792. Like I said, one of the best seasons of his career, and even though the Marlins aren't competing for any type of playoff spot this year, VR is going to help to make them a much better team. Which leads me to the Baltimore Orioles, who essentially signed Jonathan VR's replacement in Jose Iglesias this offseason, who had a really nice season in Cincinnati in 2019, doesn't put up big power numbers, only 11 homers and 21 doubles, but he hit 288, had a 407 slugging, 724 OPS, second highest of his career. You know what you're getting at shortstop, great glove. For the Orioles, like a lot of these bottom-dwelling teams, hoping that he plays well and they can trade him. At the end of the day, this doesn't move the needle much. I didn't mean for this to happen, but Iglesias' former team, the Reds, they're up next, and their best signing this offseason's gotta be Nick Castellanos, in my opinion. I loved a lot of the moves they made, but this Castellanos one puts it over the top for me. To me, Nick Castellanos is JD Martinez 2.0. He just goes up to the plate and absolutely rakes. He had 27 homers and 58 doubles last year, an 863 OPS. When he got to the National League out of Detroit, he was even better, hitting 16 homers and 21 doubles and 212 at-bats. Like, that's gross. An OPS above 1,000. Imagine what this guy's gonna do in a full season playing in Cincinnati. Man's gonna go off. For the Atlanta Braves, there's one free agent that they signed this offseason in particular that I really liked, and that was Will Smith. Will Smith is casually one of the best left-handed relievers in the game. You just don't hear about him because he doesn't throw 105 miles an hour like Aroldis Chapman or Josh Hader. But still, he's very good. A K/9 of 13.2, a whip that hovers right around 1, ERA in the high 2s, low 3s. He can get left-handed batters out. He can get right-handed batters out. Will Smith's a really good pickup and is going to help that Braves bullpen out massively. Huge key to their 2020 season. Chicago Cubs, bad offseason. Haven't done much. So out of their signings, I guess the best one's going to be Steven Souza, who didn't even play in 2019 due to injury. Now, if he can go back to his 2017 form where he hit 30 homers, he can be very useful for the Cubs, but that's going to be tough coming off such a big injury, having not seen Major League pitching in a year. I wish the best for the guy, but this just doesn't have that cool signing feel to it. The Arizona Diamondbacks have been making moves. My favorite is going to be Madison Bumgarner. I absolutely love this signing. I think he's an ace. I think he's a great pitcher, even though he had a down year last year. Still kept an ERA under 4, a whip under 1.2. The strikeouts were up. You're getting him in a winning environment again, pitching 200 innings. I think Madison Bumgarner is going to have a fantastic season in Arizona. The Toronto Blue Jays went out and spent some money this offseason. Their big piece was acquiring Hyun-Jin Ryu from the Dodgers on a 4-year, $80 million contract. Ryu finished second in the Cy Young Award voting in the National League last year with a 2.32 ERA, which was best in all of baseball, a whip at 1.007, major league low in walks per 9 at 1.2. He was about as healthy as he has been in a long time, making 29 starts, appearing in 182 2/3 innings. Ryu may not be the cool left-handed pitcher because he doesn't throw hard, but he knows how to get outs and doesn't let up any runs. Nice pickup by the Blue Jays. Avisaíl Garcia is going to come in as the best free agent signing for the Milwaukee Brewers, in my opinion. They made a lot of minor moves, but I think this one's definitely going to be the best. Garcia had a very solid season with Tampa Bay in 2019, hitting 20 homers and 25 doubles with 72 RBIs, stole career-high 10 bases, 796 OPS with a 282 batting average, plays a pretty decent right field or left field, wherever you want to stick him. Great athlete, dude mashes at the plate, definitely going to help out that Brewers lineup. The St. Louis Cardinals have been involved in a lot of trade talks this offseason, didn't do much on the free agent market. Their best signing, re-signing Adam Wainwright. It would have been hard to picture him in any other uniform besides the Cardinals. I probably expect him to be done after this contract. Last year he had a 4.19 ERA, a whip at 1.427. Wasn't like a bad year, but also wasn't a good year. What's going to be nice is that he'll eat innings for you at the back end of the rotation, but otherwise Wainwright isn't the same pitcher he used to be. Texas Rangers, another team who improved quite a bit this offseason. Same thing though, through the trade market. In terms of free agency, their best signing has been Kyle Gibson thus far. Kyle Gibson can be inconsistent at times, but if you take his last 2 seasons and put them together, he has a 4.16 ERA with a whip at 1.365. He might be used a little bit more in the bullpen, but also as a back end of the rotation kind of starter. He gets the job done, averages about 178 innings per season. That's all you can ask for a guy at the back end, just a little bit of consistency. Overall, I think it's a fairly safe signing by the Rangers. The Philadelphia Phillies, coming off a strong offseason in 2019, went hard again in 2020, signing Zach Wheeler to a big contract, 5 years, $120 million. Despite not really pitching well for the Mets in 2019, still kept his ERA below 4 and a whip under 1.3. He has the stuff and the makings to be a really solid pitcher in the game. It's just a matter of putting it together for a full season, staying healthy, which he has the last 2, and just having more consistent performances. When I watch him pitch, I see Gerrit Cole version light, a lot of similar pitches, same mechanics, same type of stuff. Something just needs to click in his brain where he can take it to the next level and he can become scary good. For the best signing for the San Francisco Giants this offseason, I guess I gotta go with Kevin Gausman. Haven't been a fan of many of their moves. He's kind of the best one they've had. Gausman didn't have a good 2019, a 5.72 ERA with a whip at 1.417. But to be fair, when he went to Cincinnati and went to more of a bullpen role, he did have a much better time, where his ERA was at 4.03, whip at 1.164, striking out way more batters, walking less, giving up less hits. That's probably a more appropriate role for him in San Francisco. Not sure how they're going to use him though. Regardless, regardless, not a great signing. For the Los Angeles Angels, you expected them to go get some pitching. They didn't really, but they did get Anthony Rendon to play third base for them, finally getting Mike Trout some more help in that lineup. Rendon is a top 5 third baseman in Major League Baseball without a doubt, coming off an extremely strong season where he finished third in the MVP voting in the National League, 34 homers, 44 doubles, 126 RBIs, an OPS at 1,010, hit .319, 412 on base, 598 slugging, plays a good third base. Glad he's out of the National League East because this guy's a beast. Anthony Rendon, definitely the best signing for the Angels. For the Kansas City Royals, not much going on this offseason. Their best move, re-signing Alex Gordon. What you're going to get with him is great defense out in the outfield and an okay bat at the plate. I mean, he hit 30 doubles last year with 13 homers, drove in 76 runs, but that's pretty much it. His slugging was below 400 for like the 4th straight year. Not much else to talk about here. The Boston Red Sox are trying to spend less money because, of course, we know what their payroll situation is. So they haven't been too aggressive, but their best move they have made thus far is going to be signing Martin Perez. Now, by no means do I think Martin Perez is going to be a great starter for the Red Sox, but they need help in that rotation, and he's definitely better than some of the guys they had pitched last year. For his career, he has a 4.72 ERA, a whip hovering right around 1.5. So again, not great, but out of all the moves they've made, he's probably going to have the biggest impact possibly. The New York Mets, they don't like to spend a lot of money, but they did make a couple good signings this offseason, and their best one had to be Dellin Betances. Betances, coming over from the New York Yankees, only pitched 2/3 of an inning last year due to injury, but as we've seen in the past, he can be one of the nastiest relievers in all of baseball. A career ERA of 2.36, whip at 1.043, and that's with a huge walk problem. So yeah, he strikes out a ton of guys, doesn't give up many hits, can walk a few guys here and there. Hopefully he can stay healthy, because if he can, he's going to be extremely valuable to the Mets. That's yet to be seen though. The Oakland A's haven't made a lot of moves this offseason. The best one that they did make though was re-signing Jake Diekman, who was a little bit better than he was in Kansas City in 2019 when he did end up getting traded over, but his strikeout numbers did go down a lot while his walks did go up. He has some absolutely filthy stuff, but finding the strike zone can be a problem. If you can get him under control, get him throwing strikes, it's going to be a really hard left-handed pitcher to hit. For the New York Yankees, it's simple. They signed Gerrit Cole, the best free agent available this offseason. Gerrit Cole finished 2nd in the Cy Young voting in 2019 with the Astros, 5th in 2018. Since making that move from Pittsburgh to Houston, he's a completely different player, finally reaching that potential we once saw him have. Struck out 326 batters last year, coming off a season in 2018 where he struck out 276. Doesn't give up walks, doesn't give up hits. I mean, he's a top 5 pitcher in the game, honestly top 4 really, and some could even make the argument that he's a top 2. So Yankees signing Gerrit Cole, that's a no-brainer. Cesar Hernandez is going to be the best free agent signing for the Cleveland Indians in the 2020 offseason, which kind of explains how their offseason is went. They traded Corey Kluber, they're possibly thinking about trading Francisco Lindor. They're not doing a whole lot, but they did sign Cesar Hernandez. As a second baseman in a very good lineup, he'd be a nice pickup, but for the Indians, who need a lot of help considering they get almost no production out of their outfield, I'm not sure how well he fits into this lineup. Regardless, you're getting a player who's going to be hitting close to 280, plays a decent second base, slaps the ball around the field, nothing crazy here. And then for the final team in today's video, we've got the San Diego Padres and their best free agent signing being Drew Pomeranz. Pomeranz spent half of 2019 in San Francisco and then the other half in Milwaukee. San Francisco, he was a mess. They used him as a starting pitcher, it didn't work. Milwaukee used him as a reliever and he was pretty gross. He had a 15.4 K per 9, a whip under 1 at .911, 2.39 ERA in 26 and a third innings. Drew Pomeranz looked like a really good left-handed reliever, and that's what the Padres got him for, to be that dominant left-handed arm out of the pen. I think he'll be a really nice pickup for them. So those are the best free agent signings from every single team in Major League Baseball for the 2020 offseason. I'd love to know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Was there someone I left off? Let me know what you think. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. Click that sub button, join the team. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. Otherwise, I am wrapping the video up there. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do appreciate you, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.